What are you going to be doing on next Friday?
I'm going to be a torchbearer in the Olympics.
You're going to be carrying the Olympic torch.
Yeah.
Where's this going to happen?
Aberystwyth.
Aberystwyth.
Aberystwyth, yeah.
Yes. Okay, and how does that make you feel?
I'm nervous. I'm really nervous, but I'm humbled because it's when I found my dad nominated me, I was like, oh my God, why did you do that? But then I thought, okay, tens of thousands of people have been nominated and they're all going to be such inspirational stories. There's a chance I probably won't get picked, and if I haven't, that's fine, I'm still thankful just to be nominated. And when I found out that I was in the, next stage of it, I was like, wow, they thought that my story was actually inspirational. It just made me feel so, humbled and proud. In a way, yeah.
And you won't be able to run with the Olympic torch?
No, my doctor will kill me if I run because I'm not allowed to put impact on my hips, so I'll be doing a steady walk.
That's good enough. And
I'm nervous. What I'm most nervous about is I'd be going for all the rest now, catching my hair on fire, catching my arms on fire, dropping it, the light going out. Oh, something's going to happen like that, I just know it. You have your own torch and do the kiss where you lean torches together and you wait for it to light. And then the one person who passes you goes, and then you sort of wait, then you get 5 massive policemen walking next to you while you do it, so you don't get, someone doesn't try and steal your torch. And then you walk for 300 metres, and then you do the kiss to the next person, and then that's it. But I know it's going to go by so quickly. It's going to be just like that, and I'm going to be back in the shuttle bus, but I'm going to make those 300 metres count. I'm going to shine.
And you had a normal, healthy youth. As a normal, healthy country girl, until the age of 14, and you had all sorts of troubles, and then at 15 you got diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma,
Yeah.
a kind of cancer.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about how it felt when you heard that.
It's kind of hard to explain, because I suppose when someone says you're might die, it's kind of like, it's one of those cliches when someone says your whole life flashes before your eyes. But it actually does, because you think of all the things that you might miss and all the things you want to do when you're older. And I cried, and I sort of just stopped, and I just felt numb. And I think it just hadn't sunk in, because it's kind of one of those things when you just think, okay, this can't be real. So it took a while to sink in, so I was quite numb for a while. So I could boost up to 6 months of chemotherapy, quite intensive. It was like every week, and then I was on 19 pills a day for a few months then too. Yeah, it's quite extensive. But luckily I didn't have to have radiotherapy, which is quite lucky.
And what effect did this have on you? What did you feel at that time?
I did think that when you get cancer, because before I knew anything about it, you were ill all the time, you felt horrible, you were in hospital all the time, but it wasn't the case. I actually felt, one day, I just couldn't believe I just felt full of energy. I didn't want to sit around, I wanted to go outside, I wanted to go with my mates, I wanted to take my dog for a walk. I just felt amazing. It was odd, because I didn't think I would feel like that. And I felt better than I had in a few years.
But then other days?
Other days, I wouldn't be able to sleep. I'll go in the living room, I'll cross my legs on the floor, and I'll put my head on a coffee table, and I'll just sit there all day. And if I moved, I'll be in so much pain. I'll just sit there all day. It was hard, because being at 15, you're sort of the peak of your teenage years. You want to go out, you want to go out with your friends, you just want to have fun. But I wasn't allowed to go out in crowds because of my immune system being so low. So I missed all my year 11, and I talk to my mates now, I still talk to some of them now, I'm thinking, oh, do you miss Fairfield? Do you miss Fairfield, this high school I went to? And they go, no, I do. I was like, it's like I'm the only one that missed it just because I missed the most important year of my life, year 11. And it was just, I don't know, and then I missed being me. I missed being a normal teenager. I missed just having fun and not worrying about going to hospital appointments. But I can't change it. And also another thing was like when I lost my hair, when they told me, I was like, oh, yeah, it's fine, I can deal with that. It's sort of one of those reality things. And then I remember I was in hospital, and it's when I was really ill, and I was washing my hair and stuff, and it was just a big clump in my hair, and I just broke down in tears. Because I think it's just the reality of it. And being a teenager, your hair's so important to you, and I was just like, oh my God, this is not happening. And I was just crying and crying, because more hair was sort of found on my pillow, and it was just horrible. But yeah.
And how did you get through it?
I suppose I had to. It wasn't one of those things where I could decide what to do. I just had to get through it. And I think my dad was my main rock in all of that. And, if I got ill at like 10 past 10 at night. and he had to drive me all the way to Cardiff because I was so ill. And it's just things like that where I was just like, wow, I've got the best, one of the best dads in the world, because
He'd do anything for you.
He'd do anything for me, and he's my rock, and I don't know if I'd be able to get through it without him.
There was a charity that you're very interested in who helped you.
Yes, Latch. They're just amazing. They're just so supportive. My social worker was just amazing. You could call at any time with any worries you had. I mean, I could talk to her about anything. And they did trips, like we went to 10 Downing Street, and we went to see The Last Speaker, and we went to gardens, and they give this thing called Make-A-Wish, where we can make any wish in the world. I could go on holiday to meet a famous person, and it's nice because it's sort of like, after everything you go through, you still got something to look forward to at the end, something to really, see a famous person, to go on holiday, something to really look forward to. I wanted to go on holiday. I mean, obviously, famous people, who wants to see on Peter Andre? I would love to meet Peter Andre, but I thought at the end of the day that I wasn't the only person that went through it. My dad went through it too. So I wanted to do something that both me and him could enjoy together. So a holiday to Crete we're going to do together. And
having got through all this, what do you hope at the moment? What do you hope to do with your life, or at least part of it?
Well, actually tomorrow I finish college, my last day of college, and I've been doing BTEC Health and Social Care. To get a higher diploma, I want to be a social worker or counsellor for teenagers and children who get diagnosed with cancer.
So basically to guide other people through the path you've been through.
Exactly, because when I was going through it, all the social workers and nurses were great. I mean, they were so supportive, but it was still one of those things where obviously they haven't been through it themselves, so it was hard for them to try and relate to you and try to think, this will happen, you'll be fine. Sometimes you feel like this, sometimes you feel like that. I felt like I needed to talk to someone who actually knew what I went through. So by doing this, I'm hoping that I could talk to teenagers and children and say, hey, I've been through this. I know what you're going through. This could happen. This happened. My hair fell out this time. It all grew back. Look at my hair now. And I hope by doing that, it'll give them some sort of relief and calms thinking, okay, she's been through it. I can do it too.
That is an important point, because when you are that ill, somebody who's been there and done it and come through can be so important.
Very important.
How did people react to you? And how would you advise people, as somebody who's been there and been ill, to react to a person who's very ill?
Don't treat them differently, because yes, they're going through a bad time, but I think anything, they want to be treated normally, because what they're going at the moment is not normal. I think they want to be normal. So treating them just the same as they were, because they're just going through something bad, then that's the most important thing to do. And if you're feeling sick, you must tell them, because they will understand. I know it's hard, because obviously I know, but if you tell them, look, I'm not really feeling very well, it's okay if I just lie down for a bit and just stay quiet, they'll be like, fine, yeah, that's great. And now give you time to rest. And when you are feeling ill, say, hey, do you want to come over, we can have a little chat, I'm feeling quite good today. And then, it's one of those things where communication is important, otherwise they won't know how you feel.
And when you're having an up day, you want the help of your friends, don't you?
Of course I do, yeah, I do. I want them to be there, I want them to, when I'm there, I don't want them to talk about it. I just want to be, their friend who's just the same, but just going through this disease, I just want to talk about gossip, I want to talk about boys, I want to just watch movies, I want to eat chocolates, I just want to do all of those things that normal teenagers should do.
Well, we know in Hay there have been a number of people who've had cancer, including several young people, which is all very unfortunate. But to those young people particularly, and all those who've had cancer, you've been down the path, what would you say to them?
I'll just say, always have hope, don't give up. I mean, it's hard, I know it's hard, but if you keep positive, then you can get through anything, and once you get through it, you'll be stronger than ever, and it's the best feeling. And just have your family, friends, you can get through anything after this.
If anyone wants to donate to Latch, is that the correct name of the charity?
Latch,
yeah. Latch. Where and how and what can they do?
Just type in Latch Welsh Children's Charity onto Google. They have Twitter, please follow them. They have Facebook, follow them too. Look on their website and please donate to them, because they're just amazing. The publicity they need is, they need as much publicity as they can get, because they're just amazing. One of the reasons why I don't know where I'd be without them. They're just amazing.